It started with a letter. Not an email, not a text. A real, physical letter. It arrived in my mailbox one foggy morning in October. No return address, just my name written in tight, meticulous handwriting. Inside was a single sheet of yellowed paper that smelled faintly of smoke and pine. They won't let me go. Don't come looking for me. Logan. My brother had disappeared 6 months earlier. No trace, no leads. The police called it a cold case. My parents had given up hope. But I couldn't. Logan and I had been close. Closer than anyone else in our fractured family. And I knew his handwriting. Knew his dry, sharp humor. The way he never said more than he had to. The letter was real. The postmark was smudged, but I could make out a name, GLOAMRIDGE. A place I had never heard of. I googled it. Nothing came up except an old black and white photo on a conspiracy forum. It showed a cluster of houses tucked into a dense forest. The caption read, GLOAMRIDGE, PA, vanished 1962. I should have stopped there. But I didn't. The drive into the mountains was slow and nerve-wracking. My GPS cut out an hour before I saw the rusted road sign half swallowed by vines. Welcome to GLOAMRIDGE. No population listed. No exit sign. Fog curled around my tires as I followed a narrow road into the trees. The sun disappeared behind a wall of gray, and soon I was driving through near darkness, my headlights barely piercing the gloom. Then, without warning, the road ended. GLOAMRIDGE was there, silent, motionless, like a photograph left out in the rain. The buildings leaned with time. Paint peeled from walls like sunburnt skin. But there were no signs of life. No cars, no animals, no sound. And yet, I felt watched. I left my car and wandered through the town. Every door was closed, every window shuttered, but as I passed a barber shop, I swore I saw the curtain twitch. When I turned, it was still. I yelled out, "Logan." Only the wind answered. Then I saw them. They stood like statues. 8 of them, maybe 10. Faces hidden under dark veils. Robes brushing the ground, motionless in the fog. They didn't speak, didn't move, just watched. I called out, "I'm looking for someone. My brother. Logan." He wrote me. No answer. Then, like it had been rehearsed, they all turned at once and walked silently down the road, into the town. It felt like a test. Like I was being summoned. I followed. GLOAMRIDGE looked like it hadn't changed since the 1950s. Rusted gas pumps. A diner with flickering neon. Broken windows. But everything felt untouched by time. Not ruined, not aged. Preserved. Like something was holding it all in place. As I walked, I felt eyes on me. But there was no one. I passed a post office with its door slightly open. Inside, hundreds of envelopes lay scattered. All addressed, none sent, every single one stamped, returned. Stay. My chest tightened. I eventually reached a crumbling town square. At the center was a statue of a man I didn't recognize. But under it, someone had scratched a warning in jagged letters. They let you in. They won't let you out. My phone was dead, completely. No signal, no battery icon. Just a black screen. I tried starting the car again, but it wouldn't even click. I was trapped. That night, I found shelter in an abandoned inn called the Stag's Rest. Dust covered every surface, but the sheets on one bed were inexplicably clean. As if someone had been expecting me. And on the pillow was another letter. You shouldn't have come. They're watching. Under the ground, behind the walls, inside the fog. If you hear the bell, don't answer. If they invite you, refuse. If they smile, run. I didn't sleep. Not really. Shadows moved outside my window all night. Whispers passed through the vents. At 3:12 a.m., The bell rang. Once. Low. Hollow. It echoed inside my bones. I didn't answer. The next morning, I found footprints outside my door. Bare feet. Deep prints. But there was no sign of anyone. I started walking through the town, looking for Logan. His name, his handwriting, a sign. Instead, I found a church. It stood on the edge of town, tall and crooked, its steeple leaning toward the trees like a dying finger. The doors were open, candles burned inside, though no one was there. On the altar was a book, bound in cracked leather. Book of the Fog. I opened it. Every page was a name. And every name was crossed out. Except one. Mine. My hand shook. I backed away. But then I heard it. Footsteps behind me. Slow. Deliberate. I turned. It was Logan. His face was pale, his eyes hollow. He looked older, thinner, like he'd lived 100 years in 6 months. "I told you not to come," he said. "Logan, what is this place?" He didn't answer. "They don't let people leave," he said instead. "They feed the fog. It needs names, faces, sacrifices." I reached for him, but he stepped back. "I made a deal," he whispered. "To let you go." "What?" "No, Logan, I came to get you out." But he only smiled. Sadly. They only let one leave. Then the bell rang again. This time, 3 times. The doors slammed shut, and everything went dark.